Would you like your blog, website, or products to show up on the first page of Google? Today's topic is all about the different ways to be shown on page one of Google and tips to rank in all three different positions. So my name is Jen Kenyuk, your digital CEO, and today we are starting in Google in an incognito window. So just to preface everything, whenever you're searching or doing any research on keywords or anything in Google, make sure that you're doing it in an incognito window. Google will show you things based on what you've searched in the past if you don't open an incognito window, because Google's very, very smart. So if you don't want your results skewed, always do research in an incognito window. So I opened my incognito window and I want to show you the three different positions that you can be featured on the home page of Google. It used to be that you would rank first through 10th and that's all that was there, but that's not the way it works anymore. So now there's three different places that you can be featured on the homepage of Google. So there is the featured snippet, which is right up here at the top. Okay, the featured snippet can be a list, it can be an answer. There's a few different things that can go in that. It could be a recipe as well. The next place that you can be featured, just as I mentioned before, was in the organic search. So this is the post that is ranking number 1 for how to use Pinterest for network marketing. This is number 2, number 3, etc. What you will notice is that now with the most recent Google update, if you are featured in the snippet at the top, you will not be shown in the top 10 search results. So some bloggers think that this is a great thing. Some bloggers think it's a terrible thing. I think that to be shown at the top, highlighted in a box in a featured snippet, gives your website a lot of credibility. So always go for it if you can. Now, the third place that you can be highlighted on the first page of Google for your search terms is in the People Also Ask button. What's really cool about this is that people can get a 2 to 3 sentence answer for exactly what they're looking for just by using the dropdown. So if someone is asking how to use Pinterest for network marketing, they might also be asking, how do I use Pinterest for marketing? Or they might be asking, how do I use direct sales on Pinterest? Is Pinterest good for marketing? There's a lot of different options here. Now, as you're going down, I know for me, I want my question answered, and sometimes I don't need a lot of elaboration on it. But at the same time, if I read something really good like this, I'm like, oh, you know what? I might just want to click here and go to this without even hitting the next few people that are ranking, which is me. I'm number 9 on this page. I could easily have someone leave the page and go to one of these just because they've used the drop down. Now, something else to note is People Also Ask is really, really good for doing keyword research. You can keep going down a rabbit hole here, which is really cool because every time you click one of these, Google adds 3 more questions. So follow me here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click the second to last one, and you see it gives me the answer. But see how it added 3 more at the bottom? I mean, literally, you can just keep going and going and going, and you can find really cool keyword ideas just by doing this. Side note, another great place, well, it's not on this page, but hold on. I'll show you in a minute. Another great place to find keyword ideas is in the bottom section. So let's see if there's one on this next search term. So how often should you repin your own content? One thing I wanted you guys to notice here is that in this one, we had our featured snippet up the top, then we had 4, 5 search results, and then we had the People Also Ask. Now on this one, they have moved the People Also Ask all the way up to the top. So you can see again how big of an advantage you can get by being featured in the People Also Ask or the featured snippets. I can't even see below the fold right now. So I could have my answer, to whatever question it is and already be clicking through a site before I even get to the number 1 search query on Google for these keywords. So again, we have our featured snippet here. This one is not a list like the last one was. This is a good 3-sentence answer, which is what Google wants. They want short, concise, and they want the answer to what someone typed in to Google. Google's whole purpose is to answer the question that someone types into their search bar. So if you want your content featured on the first page of Google, you need to make sure that you are answering exactly what your person is typing in a 2 to 3 word concise comment. Answer the question. And when you do that, you have a really good chance of showing up here. Okay. So with this, again, my next question could easily be, how often should you repin your own content? Well, can you repin your own pin? Huh. All right. Well, you know what? How many pins should I pin per day? So all of these questions, you can set up schema and code on your website to answer, as well as just answering them in your post. And I'm going to show you how to do that both ways a little bit later in the post. So again, it keeps adding things for us, which is great. Now, we go down and now we see this is the #1 search result. This is number 2, 3, 4. A YouTube video is number 5. I'm number 6, which is cool. But you'll get different things on here. Now, this is what I was talking about before as far as getting keyword ideas. These searches that are related to this can also give you better, ideas as far as what to use as keywords. Sometimes the keywords that we go to use, especially as new bloggers, there's no way in the world we're going to rank for because we don't have the domain authority. We don't have the backlinks. We're not going to outrank a Neil Patel or, Tailwind, who is the scheduling system for Pinterest itself. I'm not going to outrank Tailwind, but actually I did. Okay, I lied, but I've been doing this for a little while. But you get my theory here. So if you're going after keywords that are going to be really difficult to rank for, I highly recommend keep going through these questions and then also take a look at the bottom and see what the other related searches are to try to find other keywords relating to the same topic. Now, there's one other type of featured snippet. This one includes images, and this is a list one. This is another one of my posts. Not only are my Pinterest pins showing up at the top of this one, but you're also getting the image from my blog. I make sure to use alt tags in my blog posts and pin images that use my keywords that I'm trying to target on Google. And I think that when you have a lot of sources from the same blog post, that it definitely boosts you. So don't forget to put in those alt tags on your pins that are embedded on your website, as well as your featured image for your website. So here we have a list featured widget snippet. And then again, now we have our questions. You will notice, since I have the snippet, that I am not in the top 10. Because I mentioned that before. But you know what? I'll trade it for having 4 of my images and my post up here at the bottom, everything above the fold. I'm definitely not going to complain about that. So now you can look and, we can start getting a lot more of these. People also ask questions. You can find a lot more keywords to start targeting. And you'll notice that a lot of these are either going to be a 2 to 3 sentence answer or a list. And those tend to be the ones that I target the most and that a lot of bloggers target the most. Now, if you're a recipe blogger, a travel blogger, there might be certain things where you would be better off to use different schema markups. I'm going to put the link to this page in the post, but you can look at all the different types of structured data that can possibly get you in a snippet from Google itself, from Google's developers.google.com. And then there's all these different types of ways to get in there. So there's review snippets, there's Q&A, there's recipes, there's products. There's the one that I really like is not anything that applies to me. There's also a how-to, which is good because that's kind of like a list. But there's also the review snippets. Sometimes you'll see on Google that they'll have, a post and it'll have a star rating next to it. It's because they have the schema in there for a review snippet. So later in the post, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to I'm going to show you the FAQ because that's the one that I tend to use the most, which is seriously just answering the question that somebody typed in. So when you think about your topic and, what would you type in if you were looking for the answer? What you want to do, because Google has said flat out that just because you do schema and you answer the question perfectly, there is no guarantee that you will be selected as the featured snippet. They have they have complete control over who gets chosen, no matter if you put in all of this HTML code or not. Okay. But it definitely doesn't hurt to do everything that you can to enable Google to find that your content is answering a question and to put that code in there. So follow me a little bit farther down in the post and I will give you all the links that you need to be able to find the code that you need, as well as more tips on how to get featured on this first page of Google.